We're going to find out if the stories here are true,
or if they're BS. We're here to find out if this place is real,
or if it's BS,
Or if it's just BS.
BS.
or if they're all BS. Hello, and welcome to this episode of BS Paranormal Investigations. I am happy to introduce the first investigation that I'm uploading as an episode from this summer's road trip. I stopped at 4 places, and I should have 5 or possibly 6, but probably 5 episodes coming out of this road trip from the 4 investigations. Unlike previous years, I'm going achronistically. So I'm not uploading investigations in order that I did them. I'm uploading them in order of experiences and evidence that I had while on the road. So this episode is the Franklin Hotel in Strawberry Point, Iowa. This investigation was interesting to say the least. It's not unusual to go to a place, specifically a hotel, and have an employee or a manager or even owner want to join in and want to be a part. What made this road trip pretty significant is that this is the first year where only one of my investigations wasn't collaborative in some way. So I want to take about one more minute. I know it's been about a minute and a half, 2 minutes, but I want to take one more minute to kind of explain the scenario of this investigation. So again, the whole time I was there, I had an employee, actually 2 at some points, join me and come with me and investigate with me. So the employee that investigated with me, CJ, he had an interesting mannerism about him. And it's the first time this has ever happened, but he insisted on doing this investigation with me shirtless. I don't know if he was stoned, if he was drunk, maybe a little both, or maybe it's just his personality and mannerism. I don't know. I don't know him. But what I can say is he joined me for the investigation. I think in terms of the questions he asked, the contributions he gave, especially the knowledge of the building, they helped. They didn't hinder really anything. It wasn't anything outside of anything Bradley and I wouldn't do, or anything I wouldn't do, or anything Bradley wouldn't do. So it was, while it was kind of weird in some ways, it was not completely not completely a wasted investigation. So um what I'm going to do is, I've been debating whether or not I actually post footage of this employee, and I've decided just to go ahead and post the footage of him where it's applicable. So if you're offended by a shirtless young man, you might not want to watch this episode. Um, Otherwise, you might find it quite entertaining. And I will see you at the end of the episode to kind of give you a one over of the evidence that we did find, the evidence we didn't find, and some of the other things that occurred after the investigation was over at around 1 or 2 in the morning. So um, I'm going to leave it with that. So here's the episode. So I'm at the historic Franklin Hotel in Strawberry Point, Iowa, and I am staying in room 7 where a woman named Lily allegedly killed herself. So I'm going to be doing an investigation here, and there's supposed to be also activity in the basement and near the bar. So I'm going to investigate those areas tonight and find out if this hotel is haunted or if it's all BS. Lily, are you in here with me right now? If you are, please take a moment to familiarize yourself with this device right here. Its job is to read energy. So if you're going to try to communicate with me using your energy, you can point your energy toward that, like you could put your hand over it, and you can make multiple lights flash. If you make these multiple lights flash, I can interpret that as a yes or a no. Do you understand what I have said so far? If you have, can you make the lights flash? Do I need to introduce myself? If the answer is yes, can you make the lights flash? Do you want me to put all this stuff away and leave you alone? If the answer is yes, please make the lights flash. Are you in this room with me right now? If you are, could you please make the lights flash? If you need energy, you can use my energy. You can pull energy from any of the electronic devices in this room. There are wall outlets over there with plenty of electricity. You can pull it from there. Do you know how to pull energy? Are you down here with us? If you're down here, or if you've been down here, or if you would like to come around right now, I ask that you communicate with us using this device in front of me. This device in front of me is called a K2 meter, and when you put your energy into it, like you try to touch it, you can make other lights flash. If you understand this concept, could you try to make the lights flash now?
We don't have a balloon for you this time, man. Just this little thing right here.
Would you prefer a toy? Would you like one of us to go get you a toy? Can you tell us your name? I'm going to give you 30 seconds of complete silence to channel into making at least one of the other lights flash. 30 seconds. That would be messed up. Very good. All right, so would you be willing to, if you don't want to play with the device we have over here, maybe you're intimidated by us, maybe you're
Whoa.
scared of us.
Catch that?
Are you scared of us? Is your phone in airplane mode? Because if you get a text, it can interfere with that. signal. Because every time you get incoming data, like it will interfere. Lily, are you in here? Here, make this easy. I'm not specifically looking for Lily.
Look, there she is right there.
Yeah. Is that you in that picture? Even if you're not Lily, if you're in here with us, if you're part of this building, if you are part of its history, part of its story, share that story. Let the world know that this is your story. One of the ways you can do that is you can communicate. Hopefully my audio recorder will pick up what you have to communicate. Another way you could do it is to put your energy toward that little black box, and you can make lights flash, and we can consider that an affirmative statement. If you would like to express yourself through that means, please make the lights flash now.
I'm not sure if that's because of that shit over there, but
Cars driving by maybe. Have you been here long? Do you know CJ? Do you work with CJ? Do you try to help him out from time to time? What's your coworker's name? And a bartender.
Dakota. And
Dakota?
then there's Michelle.
Do you know Dakota or Michelle? How about Dakota? Is he your friend? Do you like Michelle? Do you find yourself connected to her? Do you miss the way this place used to be? Do you want it to go back to the way it was? What's the owner's name?
Fernando.
Hernando?
Fernando.
Hernando. How do you feel about Hernando?
Must be brain damage or something.
I don't know. It was weird. It's never happened before. So, and I've had some crazy experiences, and that's never happened before.
Did that turn off too?
No, I haven't gone over the video footage, so I don't know if it flashed or not. I have to check. I have to go over the evidence. And that's what's going to happen here is I'll collect all the footage, Because I'm only using one camera, I clearly know what's happening. I'll go over it to see if we missed any shadows, any strange beings, like that figure that's outside the window, you know.
Must be brain damage or something.
I don't know. It was weird. It's never happened before. So, and I've had some crazy experiences, and that's never happened before.
Did that turn off too?
No, I haven't gone over the video footage, so I don't know if it flashed or not. I have to check. I have to go over the evidence. And that's what's going to happen here is I'll collect all the footage. Because I'm only using one camera, I clearly know what's happening. I'll go over it to see if we missed any shadows, any strange beings, like that figure that's outside the window, you know.
That thing never does that.
Drink machine or ice machine?
Why don't you take the ice machine back to work?
Is that what we heard?
That's what we heard, but it doesn't make any sense.
Did you make the ice machine go off or work? Did you press the button for the ice machine?
Something.
If you're down here with us, just, you know, give us a sign. I mean, I'll take that as one if you're willing to. Just like we need something that we can associate with you directly. Is there something else you can do down here? Another cool trick? Can you make, I don't know, the Coke come out? Like, can you make a soda come out? Tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do shave and haircut, and I want you to follow it up. So I'm gonna do, and you're gonna do. So I'm gonna do it again, and you're going to do. So here we go. Your window of time to impress us is running out.
You're hanging out by the ice machine? I bet that'll set it off.
Yeah, there's a motor in there. Like it's gonna. Weird thing is that it activated like it did. We were both over here when that happened. I think that's actually the first thing to happen to actually.
Can't really explain.
Yeah, yeah. Everything else has a pretty logical explanation except for that one. And if it did it again, I would start to think maybe there's something wrong with it.
Yeah.
But the fact it only happened once, that's weird. And I mentioned the girl with the pearl earring, and it's like right over there in that area. So that was kind of the extent of our investigation. Again, one of the things you saw that I did was there was a moment where I just gave CJ the camera and I was like, maybe I'm the one interfering with a vibe that's here, and figured just giving him the camera and letting him walk around, talk, ask a few things, um, see what it would bring. Really was not much. And by not much, I mean nothing. The only two things that happened there were at the end of the K2 session, the TV next to the bed, there was a clicking sound. Um, that was pretty interesting given that one of the things that people continuously talk about is that TV turns on by itself, even if it's not plugged in or whatnot. Didn't witness that, didn't see anything like that occur. The other thing was when we were investigating in the lounge room, the ice machine activated on its own. Um, if you worked in restaurants, if you worked in fast foods, anywhere that really has a drink machine, you know this can happen. Um, just means that there's probably some form of mechanical failure going on in the drink machine. Um, the employees that were there said that this doesn't really happen. CJ also said it doesn't really happen. Um, so, I'll let you decide what you think of that. I have my kind of perspective on it, but um, the thing that got me, and the reason I am just going to come out and say I don't think this hotel is haunted, is what one of the employees told me. I'm not going to name which employee told me, I'm not going to name who said what, but they actively said that the idea of it being haunted brings in money. So the owner has doubled down on that. Most hotels, even if they are billed as the haunted hotel, they don't lean on the haunted part. It does bring in a few people like me every now and then, a few paranormal investigation teams. Certainly some more popular than I am. They don't lean on it. It's something that's just part of being a historic hotel. They are in the middle of renovations, and it surprises me that there was a lack of activity despite the renovations. Um, I think the hotel has some good stories. I just have no evidence whatsoever to say it's haunted, whatsoever. I didn't get a weird feeling. We spent probably 2 or 3 hours in the basement of the building just going through old boxes and historic artifacts from the hotel. Some of the stuff was dating back to 1930, 1940. Um, it was really cool to do that. Like, the employees and myself were down there. We were going through boxes and files, and I was identifying artifacts for them. I was helping them understand kind of what was happening at the time, and it was a lot of fun. I had more fun doing that than I did my investigation. And that's not to say the investigation wasn't fun. It was just, you know, 99.9% nothing. Whereas digging through the old files, going through the history, was immediately rewarding. In terms of EVPs, I didn't have any. In terms of phantom smells, in terms of strange sounds, we didn't have any. The only time the K2 flashed was when CJ had a text when he was next to me in the basement, beginning of the investigation when we paired up. Um, in terms of strange events, we did have a moment in the lobby where my K2 meter started going crazy, and I was like, oh man, this could be something. And then I quickly realized that I was above the kind of internet and electronic system for the whole hotel. There was so many things giving off EMF signals that you can't trust any reading that comes from that area. Another thing we realized pretty early on was the basement is a fear cage. When electricity is running down there, you can put the K2 on the floor, you could put it in the middle of the air, you could put it toward the ceiling, and no matter where you put it, you're gonna get some flashing. You're gonna get high levels of EMF readings. At one point, I think I got 121 milligauss, and that's a lot. That's a lot. Um, so a lot of people getting paranoid, getting headaches, getting dizzy, lightheaded, perhaps even hallucinating if they're down there long enough, perhaps cleaning or going through old things. Those things can happen. Um, so I found a lot of very logical things, and I can't call this hotel haunted. The final kind of nail in the coffin for me was the employees didn't even have the correct name of the woman. You might note at the beginning when I was doing a K2 session in my room with the audio recorder, again, no audio, but um, I kept using the name Lily. That was the name given to me. Her name was Lizzie Elizabeth. We found a picture of her, and on the back it was Lizzie. Um, so her name was Lizzie, not Lily. So it might be worth for another team to go in and just interact with a Lizzie rather than a Lily. Maybe a few more things will happen. Um, but yeah, that's my overall take on this hotel. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks for liking and subscribing. Please go over to our Instagram if you want to see some of the images, some of the pictures from these locations. Um, I kind of use Instagram for the still shots, whereas I use video, thermal, and those things for my YouTube channel. Um, Part of paranormal investigating is accepting when you don't go to a haunted location. The majority of the places I've been aren't haunted. I'm lucky if I can get more than one haunted location and evidence for that paranormal activity while I'm there. So, again, maybe I was there on a dull night, but based on what I found, Franklin Hotel, is it haunted? Is it BS? I think it's BS.
Here's the door.